push start. I'll just, can you hold it just like that? Look good, Blake. Why did it work before? Perfectly. Well, this thing is out front, doesn't it? He goes the other way.
Oh, so you put it the other way?
After her. Let's get this rolling. Hi, Blake.
Good.
We're grilling. We're good.
My experience in nonverbal communication taught me that nonverbal respect is just as easily understood but also misinterpreted. My good experiences happened when my actions were easily understood and returned, and the bad ones were when they really weren't and they were ignored. My experience had good, bad, and ugly parts. The good experience happened when I was at the coffee bean waiting for coffee. I was in line, and usually in that area, you know, there's a lot of homeless people and like some people that are kind of just like not fully there. So one of the guys that was there, he told me he liked my bracelets, which I had a lot at the time. And usually I would probably try to like just say thank you and walk away, but because of this experiment, I had to show him respect and repeat the mantra. So I turned to him, I said thank you, and I smiled and made sure he actually knew I was listening. And instead of walking away after, I stood there waiting for my coffee, and then I nodded to him before I left. And I think that by acknowledging this man who probably gets ignored often, hopefully made his day a little bit better, and that's why it was a good experience for me. The bad experience happened when I was walking to class with my roommate Zoe, and we saw one of her friends that she knew but I didn't know her, so we walked up to her and I made sure to repeat the mantra and show her my respect by keeping my arms down and like not looking at my phone or anything, and giving her eye contact when we talked. And the only problem was that she didn't seem to return the respect because she kept like looking at her phone and texting, and she kept kind of like walking away slowly, like she probably was in a rush trying to go to class. So although she probably wasn't trying to be disrespectful, it definitely didn't come across as like that she was showing respect back towards me. So the whole experience for me was like a little bit like uncomfortable at times and a little tedious. So I think that was the ugly part for me mostly, is that I had to like remind myself at all times to like keep respect. So I'm really bad when I talk to people. I'm not very good with eye contact. Like, I get very distracted and I look around the room and there's people behind me. I look at that. So I think that I had to remind myself more than I should have to like keep eye contact and show people respect and not to be on my phone and things like that. So I found that to be like the ugly truth about this experiment for me. And so what I really learned is that just like the girl that I met that was on her phone texting, like she probably wasn't trying to be rude, but it came across as that. So I really learned that nonverbal actions can be really easily misinterpreted, and that you have to be really careful. So that was the overall experience for me. I think that in the future I'll definitely be more careful with my nonverbal actions and continue to be try to like repeat the mantra and be really respectful to people. Because just as the man in the beginning, he understood my respect, and the girl, my second experience, she didn't really like understand it. So I think that it can be misinterpreted like easily. So yeah.
Thank you. What'd you like, please?
Hi, my name is Isabel.
Hi, Isabel.
I thought that you were really good, and what I liked is it was kind of different. Than like it was really nice and quick, and like others drawn out of it. You were really natural, and I like how you just kept it simple, like everyday interactions that we all go through. So it's really cool.
Got right to the point. Improvement.
Hi. You did a really good job, like you said.
Say your name, please.
Oh, Brianda. I always forget this.
Hi, Brianda.
You did a really good job of being concise and clear. I think the next thing I would do to improve, you said that sometimes even when you're talking to people, you like get distracted and look around the room. And I kind of saw that you were looking around the room, but I'm not sure that you were making eye contact. So maybe that for next time.
Blake, we want 3 to 5 seconds of quality eye contact to really connect with people. I liked your beginning, your intro, your preview. It told us what was coming, so that was good. On your first experience, the good, I like that the mantra caused you to be respectful and to have a good experience at the Coffee Bean. On the bad, I warned you that we've become a society where it's acceptable to be rude, to be on your phone, and to just even at dinner, at every place, at every time, in church, at weddings, at whatever, just in class, you know, it's a form of disrespect. And I don't even think she even thought it was, because it's become such a norm now. So, but you saw it and you experienced it because you were feeling the other way by practicing respect. On your third experience, I appreciate you sharing and knowing that you need to make better eye contact. I too thought that you need to look around the room and make stronger eye contact. Your closing of what you learned was well done, so you did a nice job. Thank you. Okay, let's try doing it that way. Yeah. And that's a little too. Let me loosen this thing. Just to move it around. Do you have an idea for us?
I guess you have to wet the edges of the entire section.
I have to wet the edges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll work. And it could just be the surface of the table too. It's very rough, so it might not stick. Or something.
I can do.
Yeah, it's just
Like that. Okay, managing attention, communicating, just hold.
yeah.
We'll work it out. Managing attention, communicating respect, finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name, feel the love, start your speech.
Okay, I'm Nina.
Hi, Nina.
Alright. So it's a little surprising how difficult it can be to pay respect to the ordinary people in our lives. This weekend, or I guess 3 weekends ago, I vowed to maintain eye contact, to never interrupt anyone, and to be interested in what they had to say, all the while saying the mantra, I respect you, in my head. This can be difficult because when we think of people that we respect, it tends to be people that are like experts at something or have a lot more life experience. But if you think about it, we're all experts of our own lives and have experiences that we can share with each other and can learn from each other. And I'm a shy person, so getting up and talking in front of a lot of people is a little scary. And though I want my ideas to be respected, it's a little daunting to have to get up and earn it first. So this weekend I experienced good, bad, and ugly. The good had to do with me learning a lot about the people in my life that I normally wouldn't have given really a chance to talk as much. The second was learning that respect isn't reciprocated always. And the third is something personal that I'll get into later. Alright, for my good experience, I just went around smiling a lot more and found that you just get a lot more smiles back. I talked to my suite mate, who I don't normally talk to that much, but I found out a lot about her, and I maintained eye contact. I tried to not interrupt her. I actually barely spoke, and she told me a lot, and I actually retained a lot of the information, which I normally wouldn't do. Like, I know her birthday is November 2nd, 1994, and that she has 6 siblings. And then I went to the movies to go see Gone Girl, and I try to be respectful to the people around me by not sitting directly in front of anyone, and also not taking out my cell phone because the light can be distracting. Afterwards, I tried to be respectful to the movie employees by cleaning up after myself and respecting their time. And at the dining halls, I try to respect the dining hall staff as well, because I know they ask you to do it, but I always forget to separate the plates, the trash, and the silverware. So I try to be really conscious of that. My bad experience was really short. It's just basically me realizing that people don't reciprocate respect all the time, because although I know a lot about my suite mate, she knows barely anything about me. And I think that was something that if you give someone the platform to speak, sometimes you won't have your own voice heard. My third experience is something that I've experienced beyond just this past, 3 weekends ago, and that is respecting people with physical abnormalities. I think that this is important to talk about because staring isn't very respectful, but if you have something that makes you stand out, like I have my scars, it can be a little uncomfortable, and I know it's unavoidable. I too am prone to staring. I think avoiding all eye contact can be just as bad, so I found the perfect balance to be smiling. Smiling doesn't imply sympathy, but comradeship, and I think that's really important. I understand that I stand out, and I understand that other people stand out, but if you look with something that recognizes the person and not just their abnormality, then it can be like a humanizing experience. So in conclusion, respect is just treating someone like they're a human being, which should be simple enough. And I would like to go on with this experiment of respecting people, not just 3 weekends ago, but like throughout my life, hopefully, and especially in this class, because getting up and talking in front of people requires the respect and support from our peers. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll come over here.
I'm Trenton.
Hi, Clinton.
So what I liked about your speech is you were very personal. The way you spoke, it sounded conversational. Like, you didn't put on a big voice, which was really nice. And I liked your 3 stories too. They were really good. I like the fact that you didn't talk about just one experience where you're good, but you talked about your entire experience with it. So.
Improvement.
Hi, I'm Trish.
Hi,
I
Trish.
think you did really well. You were very personable, and I like that you smiled and definitely looked around. To improve, I guess I would, you said a lot for your transition, and just, you were in the power stance, but you could tell that you were nervous because every once in a while you'd get distracted, so your gestures would show, like you would fidget on your jacket strings, or you would go like this. So just to lessen up on that and just use it, because I think you did really well.
Right. Nina, good speech. Really a lot of interesting insights. You're clearly nervous, and so what you need to do is to have confidence, fake it until you make it, and just come up here as if I'm confident, I'm great, I'm going to do this. On your first story, your talked about, you had kind of a long introduction. Your first story was things went well, and you did the Gone Girl, and you were helpful with all the people around you, and that went well, and I appreciated that, so that was a good thing. On the bad, I think, that there are people like that are just don't know how to have a conversation where you ask people about themselves and you do a back and forth. It's kind of sad, actually. The art of conversation is dying, I'm afraid to say. On the third experience, I was really intrigued with what you talked about, the whole notion of, I know a lot of people they see somebody that's what we call, I don't know what the proper word is these days, handicapped or whatever, and they look away, and I'm not going to look at that. And I think you were very courageous in saying a smile is a neutral thing, and it's non-judgmental, and it's sort of accepting and good. I would have liked you to have had a stronger narrative in the end of saying, and so what did I learn? And say it like that, and then instead of saying in summary. And then, but overall you did a nice job, and you got the job done. So you just work on your confidence, don't play with your clothes, and you'll be fine. Thank you. Okay, I have a new theory. Let's make this go straight up. Yeah, I think that's.
Or we can do you mind if you use your folder? Yeah, just to you can suction it on here.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you respect? Yes. RESPECT.
Something.
No, I'm sorry. That's not.
It's not a flat process.
Yeah.
too clean. Like,
Yeah.
reception needs to be dirty.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh well. Try it.
That's better, huh?
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't, it's not pulling, so it's not, yeah, but just keep your eye on it. Thanks. Okay, she's managing attention, communicating respect, time, fellow eyes, and from the sun, say your name, feel the love, start your speech.
Hi, I'm Angela.
Hi, Angela.
Okay, talking about respect, for me, respect is showing a connectedness and care about the person through interaction. So actually, you will show respect to the other people by caring who they are. Thinking about the experiment, and I realized I'm a very freshman in UCLA this year, so I knew only few people. So I decided maybe I could show respect to the other people simply by greeting and then doing the handshake. So after the hours of the experiment, I have 3 stories to share with you. The good one, the bad one, and an ugly one. The good one comes from the floor mate Claire. Even though we live in the same building and the same floor, we didn't know each other very well. So one day, I was at the corridor and I met her. So I just went toward her and said, "Hi, I'm Angela, I live in 205B," and offered my handshake. So I respect her. Then she seems very appreciating my offer. Then she was smiling and said, "Hi Angela, I'm Claire." And then we became friends. And then as we shook our hands, doing the handshake, she realized that my hands were very cold. And then she was being kind by offering a hot drink from her place. So I was very happily visiting her place, sitting on her bed, and chatting for a while, and we became very good friends. And then it was really interesting for me to know that she actually perceived the offer of handshake as a sign that I want to be friends with her, I like her, and I respect her. And then I was happy that near offer a handshake, it earned me a good friend Claire, and also a good hot chocolate. And then it was like a story. The bad story follows. It happened with my academic counselor. As a freshman in UCLA, I was struggling with class enrollment for a while. So I went there to get some advices. And I went there and talked about my story and talked about my situation, how horrible it is. I'm so confused and then so different from high school. As I finished talking, my academic counselor, he slowly grabbed my hand and looked into my eyes and said, "Listen, there's nothing for you to worry about. I mean, everyone undergoes the same process, like class enrollment. And you were able to get into UCLA, which means you're smart and brave." And actually, he made my feeling much better. I felt better off. Besides from that, listening to his speaking while holding his hands was an awkward experience for me. And it's not a very handshake they made for the greeting, but holding his hand and talking to him was an apparent failure of the handshake. It was my best story. And then the last one follows the ugly one. It happened during the general meeting that I had from my club with 2 Chinese friends. And I met a girl named Hannah. Thinking about the respect experiment, I just stepped over the girl and then said, "Hi, I'm Angela, nice meeting you," and offered a handshake. And then we talked to each other and then we became good friends. And after 10 minutes or so, she realized that I'm not Chinese but a Korean. So the misunderstanding actually started from the offer of handshake and then 2 other Chinese-speaking girls beside me. It was that in Korean culture, especially the youth, don't really offer a handshake for saying hello. We usually go bow to each other or we just say hi by waving our hands. So it was kind of interesting for me to figure out that she actually got the nonverbal communication, which is the handshake, in order to identify who I am. She thought I'm Chinese, not Korean. So it was awkward at the moment, so I will just say it was an ugly story about my experiment. And after the experiment, I was able to learn that it is not a hard thing for us to show the respect to the other people. Mere act of handshake, the offer of handshake, could actually make some friends, and then they felt I welcome them, I like them, and I respect them. And as shown by the cases with my academic counselor and Hannah, there can be some misunderstanding. But besides from that, I actually appreciate the advices given by my academic counselor, and that Hannah and I are still good friends. So after all, I was able to learn that it is not the act or the nonverbal communication that we do with the other people, but it's the true heart and the intention to show the respect to the other people that actually establishes the relationship with the other people and connect all of us. Thank you.
Let's wrap up for your feedback. Yeah, here we go. What'd you like?
Oh, I think it's.
Is it your turn?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So again. I'm Josh.
Hi, Josh.
I liked one thing I liked was you're very vocal. You were very vocal, very loud, easy to understand, and you went at a good pace. And most of all, I liked your conclusion. You cut it off very well, and I thought you had a clear summary of what you were talking about. And it was very easy to understand.
Improvement.
Hi, I'm Christine.
Hi, Christine.
I thought you were very fluent. You said everything really well. A suggestion is you were looking up a lot, like you were thinking. So maybe you tried to kind of look into the audience more, and then you held your hand the entire time. I think. So maybe just more movement.
Thank you.
Those are good comments for Angela. Angela, you started off with a definition and you operationalized the nonverbal communication of respect with a handshake, and you then reported on how it went. That's good, and it went well for the most part. The other thing I would say is I would also continue to use the mantra, I respect you, saying it to yourself, in addition to the handshake and the nod of the head and other things, because you'll get into less trouble and people won't think you're Chinese or Japanese or Korean or whatever people mistake you for. And I don't see that as being, personally, I don't see that as being ugly, but you did, and so that was a problem. On your Claire story, it was a good story, and that went well. I liked how you told that. On your bad reaction, the counselor, I think he was trying to be kind and to give you a boost and to use the touch and the handshake to really make a point that you got here, so you're going to overcome this problem that you're having now. So I don't know about bad. On the ugly, I think that yeah, there's cultural things about we've had people report that too much bowing, you're mocking my culture and things like that. So that's why I say the nonverbal mantra can't get you into any trouble, can only get you respect and you give off the respectful vibration. Do you understand? If you work on your eye contact and work on having your hands move more in a gesturing fashion, you'll be in great shape. But you did a nice job. Thank you very much. Is that all the respect? Okay.